Well, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I know we're still stuffed and enjoyed some time with family. Last week I cut out some 2x6 blocks, routed in a simple design, and got them stained. These are to be used in the custom crown molding design I came up with for the living room. With carpet on the way, I pushed it and struggled to assemble the faux beams meant to cover the ductwork along the living room ceiling. The mistakes left me frustrated and feeling a bit disappointed, but we just have to keep moving forward. In this video, I'm working to finish all the pieces, get them assembled and installed. Okay, I've got 2 coats of matte on everything, and it's about the color we wanted. We didn't want anything super shiny, so this gives it a nice gloss without being too overpowering. But anyways, carpet got delayed. It was supposed to be in here next week. Now they're saying it hasn't even shown up on the truck yet. They don't even know when it's going to come in, so it may end up being the week after that. We'll see, but I needed the extra time anyway, so I'm not really complaining. I know I'm not sold on this yet. We'll see what it looks like when it goes up. A couple of the pieces look really nice, and a couple of them are kind of questionable. So I at least need to put another coat of poly on here, but I may go ahead and sand it, just do a light sanding across it, hit it with another coat of stain, and then do poly. Okay, I've got all this stained, or all this with a poly coat on it, and I think it's shiny enough. So if remember, had a second coat of stain on everything here. When I ran it the first time, it just was too light, but now it's got the darkness that I was looking for. I don't think I'm going to need to put another coat of poly on there. So it had the stain, a coat of poly, and then I ended up staining it again and then putting poly on it again, and it really kept a lot of its shine. So you can see the block there in the back has 2 coats, and then the 1x3s here only have 1, and it looks pretty close to the same. Got my blocks over here I had to redo, because if you see on this side how much shinier the right side is, this was had a satin, and then we took matte over the top of it. This was from a different project for the girls' bathroom. So I ended up having to flip them over and restain the back side, and now I got that nice matte shine to it. But I should be able to start assembling now. I gotta go run some errands, and then hopefully get back and get a couple of these put together, and maybe even get them hung up tonight. We got Boo Bear over here who was not feeling good this morning, so she's taking a nap. Not quite sure what her deal is, but she seemed pretty uncomfortable. Okay, just got the first one done here. Didn't turn out too bad. Usually the first one takes a lot of time because you're trying to figure out your method, trying to figure out how all the pieces and stuff go together and what mistakes you've made. Typically when you do down the road, it goes a little bit faster. That can backfire on you though, because you get too fast and then you really screw something up. And I don't have much room to screw things up. So I tested the color up in the girls' bathroom, and it worked out pretty good. So put the decorative leaf vine, kind of looked as kind of a runner down the sides. I would have run across, but then this actually covers up the 45 between this piece and this piece. It hides the seam. So if I ran a 45 this way, I would just end up with the exact same seam. So I decided just to stop it there. Plus, I didn't have enough material. After cutting all these end pieces out, all I ended up with, I don't know where it went. All I ended up with, there it is, was this is all I had left after, this is probably about 3.5 inches or so out of an 8-foot piece. I don't have much room to screw up at all. And Valerie came out and decided she wanted to build a birdhouse. So she grabbed some scraps and went to town on that guy. So we'll get that put up in the spring somewhere. Went ahead and got them all framed up. The part that took the most time was putting the decorative trim on the sides. Slapping them together wasn't that big of a deal. So they're all ready to go now for tomorrow, and then that probably saved me maybe an hour just assembling them. Maybe not that long. By the time I got to the last two, I was really flying through them pretty quick. So tomorrow I've got to get my decorative leaf kind of trim piece on there, and then fill all the nail holes and go ahead and start putting them up. I know I've said that a few times. I really hope this is it. I got the first one up there and looks pretty good. Of course, you can't see all the defects that I was dealing with on them. One thing I did do to keep the light coming through the back is I originally had put caulking along there, and I could still see light through in certain places, so I went ahead and just put tape over, and that should work a lot better. But I'm ready to go ahead and get these up, and it should go pretty quick, I hope. I got all 6 of them up. It was just by dumb luck that this distance was almost the same as that distance. So these are hiding the ductwork, and then the ones on the west wall here are just kind of up there for show, just kind of even it out a little bit. And then pretty much got them all awfully darn close to being 90 degrees against the wall. I actually bumped that one and ended up off a little bit. But funny thing on these is that out of the 8 screws I have holding it up, 4 in each one, on both the left one and the right one, I hit a drywall screw, had to take it down, take the drywall screw out, and then screw back into it. So what are the chances of that happening? So those are up and they look pretty good. Next thing I've got to do is start working on the crown molding. Okay, I think I'm finally starting to figure out my crown molding. So I got here, this is my center block. So this is one of the pieces that goes in between the two ceiling kind of faux beams that come out. So I found the center of my block goes. I went ahead and screwed it in from the back side. That way I'm not having to try to shoot nails in here and then try to cover them up. I'm also going through, and if I see any bad texture spots, I'm going ahead and touching those up with just a Q-tip to hit those. Maybe the knots look a little rough. And then on my molding, I'm just doing the ends. That way, for some reason, my cut's a little short, you know, and it's hanging out a little bit. There's just no way you're going to see anything that's unstained in there. And like I said, I did this to where those should line up pretty close like that on the ceiling. Of course, the one that I have up right now, you really can't see. It's so dark up there right now. The sun went down, and plus it was cloudy today, but you really can't make out a whole heck of a lot of the detail. Which could be a good thing because you're not going to see the nail holes, or it could be a bad thing because I just wasted a bunch of time trying to make this look good and you're not even going to be able to see it. I've got another one set up right there. That one goes into a corner. And then I realized I didn't have any corner pieces made, so I scrambled and got these done before the sun went down. I just put that wood conditioner on the ends so I can stain these before tonight. So the way this goes, that will hook right onto there like that. I've already got it pre-drilled through the back and everything. And I'll do the same thing. So if this were the corner, I'll get it stained, pre-drilled, and go ahead and get this screwed into that side. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do on the other side. I may have to zip a nail in just to try and hold it back against it. But that's my plan on the corner blocks. So I'll get a coat of stain on those, let them dry overnight. Then I gotta get my 2 coats of poly on them, so I'll probably let them go all the way till tomorrow night, find other things to work on. Well, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch our video. Hopefully you'll come back next week when I plan to work more on the chimney.